Right, next up, thanks to our mates at Need a Car, we're sticking with the Waikato and heading along to the 10th Aroha Cruisin'.
We're putting Te Aroha on the map first and foremost, and the best way to do that is to have something for them to come and see. And so classic cars, hot rods, we've got bikes, we've got vintage caravans, we've got Firetrucks, tractors, you name it. So yeah, it's lots for people to see. It's definitely the single biggest event that Te Aroha has every year. So we do have other events in town, but this is definitely the biggest draw card for the town.
Always a good day out, really well run. Not a full-on 5 o'clock, 6:30 till 5 o'clock day. It's 1, 2 o'clock and you can bugger off home. It's a good day and hopefully the weather's going to hold out.
It's good to see all local cars out, and they sort of come out of the woodwork, and a lot more here than you sort of think.
2017's Cruisin' was a little bit special, marking the event's 10th year. It's grown a lot in that decade too, with numbers now closing in on the 500 cars mark. They weren't all local either, with entrants making the trek from as far south as Wellington, or in this case, all the way from Carmo up north.
We bought it at the beach hop. It's 1964, Mercury, Monterey, Breezy. And I spied it, and within 2 hours, bought it.
She's got a very good history, and she's had a real bad past. A lot of cowboys have been through it, and I'm still tightening it all up. But we'll get there. It's a work in progress. A lot of work to do on her, but she's going to stay on the road and we're going to get here. Got a FE 390 in it, okay, which is a 6.4 litre, good old Ford V8. She's a MERCURY transmission, which is, believe it or not, quite all right for this one. She can really boogie, especially on the motorways. She just sits there, comfortable as.
Loving it. We said that we'd only take it out once a month maybe. Well, can I say we're off out for lunch every weekend somewhere. We're going to have to change the insurance, I think.
The Cruisin' doesn't just happen in Te Aroha. It pretty much is Te Aroha. The main drag is blocked off for the occasion and it doesn't take all that long to fill up. A menacing presence at the north end of town was TODD's IMPALA in all business matte black.
1965 Chev IMPALA, Aussie assembled right-hand drive version, so a little bit rare in that aspect. Imported into New Zealand in 2009. Originally a 283 Chev with Powerglide engine, now running a tunnel-rammed 427 big block, turbo 350 and 12-bolt diff. Approximately 400 to 420 horsepower at the back wheels. So she's a bit of a beast. Got the matte black paint. When I got it, it had chrome wheels and stuff on it, so I just changed the look, put the black wheels with the tyres with the white writing, and just made it that little bit more, menacing, as you say, and put the appropriate plates on it. It's not too loud inside. My 3-year-old loves it. Calls it the parlour. It's kind of hard to keep at the speed limit because it does want to. It's built for high revs, but at 100k you're only pulling low revs. So it definitely wants to go when you want it to go anyway.
Thanks to Need a Car, it's time to head back to the Aroha Cruisin' now, the event celebrating its 10 years of taking over the small Waikato town of Te Aroha. The Cruisin' attracts a wide range of vehicles, from vintage to modern muscle, a big chunk of those of US and Australian origin. From the latter, this tough LX TORANA hatch, a dream car for Rotorua's Roger Broad, and the car's first big outing since he's taken possession.
Yeah, very long time actually. Been hunting for one, very hard to find here. When it came up, you have to grab them. It's a 2-door LX, 1977 TORANA. It's running a 350 Chev. It's mild cam, rollers, and it's got a 9-inch diff in it. Was an ex-drag car 10 years ago, doing 10s, just late 10s. Been a Holden man for many years. As a young fella, we used to wreck these cars, so always wanted another one.
We clearly weren't the only ones digging the LX, the Holden taking out Judge's Choice, while Best Pickup was awarded to Dave Green from Matamata, attending his first cruising behind the wheel of his modernised Chev.
Well, it's a 47 Chev FLEETMASTER pickup, and I've had it for about 15 years now. It was pretty damn rusty. It had no pickup bed. The chassis was rusted away behind the back of the cab, and it had rust all the way up to the cowl vent basically. So we've replaced a lot of metal in it. It was going to be the workshop truck, and I was going to be a daily driver, but we got a little bit carried away. I have no idea the hours. It's been going on, like since we bought it and got it on the road. It took 13 years, but there were some years that it sat, and it used to sit in the workshop, and I'd have people come into the shop and say, "When are you going to work on that damn thing?" I said, "Well, will you people stop coming into my shop and keep me busy, But we started working every Saturday. It was just every Saturday we worked on it. I had a good friend to come help me every Saturday, so it was great. We'll start from the rear. It's got an old school Jaguar rear end, which we've fully reconditioned. It's got a heavy duty Eaton posi track in it, and then we got the 4L60E, which was built super heavy duty by Chuck Mann, and then in front of that again we got the ZZ4 350 crate motor, which was a used motor when I got it, and when I pulled it apart it had a run crank thrust, so we in there and did a whole lot of little bits and pieces, changed the heads, went to the fast burn 5 heads, and then we went to the ram port injection. So it was, it ended up being full on. One thing that I always said that when we're building the truck, if it didn't drive any good, I'd just sell it. And I was driving over here today, and we're whipping along at a pretty good rate. There's 3 or 4 of us, say, and you go through a few corners and you look in your rear view mirror and they're way behind.
A decade down, and it's time for a change. Organiser Sarah has been in the hot seat for a fair few of those years, but it's time to step aside. Fear not though, the show will go on, and the Aroha Cruisin' will return in spring 2018.
The people have made it worth it, so it can be stressful, but the people that you meet from the entrance to the public, everyone's so enthusiastic and so passionate, and they just love the event, and they love going to all these events, and they're just wonderful, so the people make it.